All right, franchise of the week, Mr. Rooter Plumbing.
All right, Mr. Rooter is a legit franchise, so it's a neighborly brand. They do residential and commercial plumbing services. Been around since 1970, their original location, and they started franchising in '93. So they now have 209 franchise units throughout the country, but they do, they don't necessarily want you to have a plumbing background to run this business, right? They want
Mhm.
business owners that can manage a team and run, the high level operations, manage KPIs, hire and train people, build a team and culture. So Mr. Rooter is a very scalable business and it's a need, not a want, right?
Mhm.
Like when you have plumbing issues, you have to get it fixed. There's no like there's you just can't sit on a plumbing issue. Like it's going to continue to get worse and worse. So there's a lot of different use cases for plumbing companies. And Mr. Rooter has a pretty good training in place. They have a software system that you use to manage the business from front to end. You equip your plumbers with an iPad and software that they can give quotes and collect payment right there on the spot from customers. So it's a quick cash flow type of business. And when you look at the investment compared to the Atom 19, if you look at the total investments between 83,000 and 225, which is pretty dang reasonable. But then if you scroll down and look at the potential, return, if you look at the Atom 19, um, they're averaging 1.99 million in gross sales from their disclosed performers. And you look at the top 50% of performers are averaging 3.29 million. Just kind of crazy. Like that is phenomenal business if you're average to above average. So yeah, I like plumbing and businesses, electrical, HVAC, things like that. If you're comfortable managing more of those skilled labor,
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, um, this sort of business is not for everyone, but someone who's just like, if you're willing to be in this sort of business and like willing to be like involved with it overall, um, I mean, what was it? A few months ago, our hot water heater started leaking. We could have repaired it for like $400 or replaced it for like 2,200 or 2,300. It was already 9 years old. I was like, let's just replace it. But it was like I didn't want to spend $2,300 that day. It wasn't a planned expense. It wasn't like a like either way, I was spending some money that day. It was either 400 or 2,300. And the reason why I spent the 2,300 was because it was like, it's not, why am I going to repair something that's 9 years old that has an expected shelf life of 10, 12 years? It just doesn't make sense. So that's really, I think, the big benefit in that sort of business.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and it's it can be intimidating, like thinking about hiring and managing people at a little bit higher salary than other trades. But if you're comfortable with that, it can be a phenomenal business. And then being a neighborly brand, you're going to have other neighborly owners of like an HVAC company or painting or whatever. You can network with them, get their customer bases, refer customers back and forth in your territory. So really good opportunity. We just actually helped a guy in Vegas buy Mr. Rooter.
Nice. Nice. All right. Kevin, what should they do here if they want to check it out?
Yeah, if you're curious about that or anything in that space and you're curious to hear like what's available in your market, just click on that link, submit your information. We can set up a call and chat about what that would look like and what may be available in your market.